wanted to visit with you a little bit about a way to work on patterning skills by making bulletin board borders. Now, this is not the beginning of teaching patterning. Before I would ever do this activity, we would do a lot of things. We would clap out patterns, A, B, or A, B. We would show patterns. We would talk about them as a class. My next step would be to have the students work with manipulatives, things like your Unifix cubes, your pattern blocks, say milk jug lids, whatever you can have for the kids to make patterns. The thing, as much as you can, tie it in with objects that they're used to seeing in the classroom and in their world so that you're making those connections with the brain. As an extension then, and we know that if they can see and identify patterns, that's one thing, but to create their own is a higher level thinking skill. This is also a great way for you to review colors or shapes, or you could use whatever you come up with. I've hot glued letters, the outlines, and we've used those on here, whatever you need to review. Right now I'm going to be using paint. I've also done this activity with rubber stamps, so whatever works best for you and your classroom and your needs. Before I get started, because we're working with little people and with paint, I use a vinyl tablecloth. I put an easel under here. When I actually do this with kids, they don't have the easel. It's just flat on the table, but I did this so that you could see it as I videotaped. We've taped these down, and I do tape them down. It makes it easier for little kids to handle. This is just adding machine tape and a pinch. You can also cut paper that size, whatever works best for you. I've lucked out. A lot of people know that I do this type of thing, and so the adding machine tape, as offices and things switch machines, it gets donated when they're not using it any longer. Here I use some old pattern blocks and I hot glued them to the end of a film canister. I try and make this as easy for me as far as cleanup and setup as possible, because I'm more likely to do it. I think it's very important also that children are exposed to a lot of different art materials and medium, because as we use more and more technology and we go to more and more programs in our schools to meet our benchmarks, we need to remember that young children still need to have these concrete hands-on experiences. Enough said. So I'm going to start out, and right now I want to emphasize the shapes that we're using along with the pattern. So I'm going to use this triangle, square, triangle, square, and I'm saying this as I go. Have the children say this: triangle, square, knowing that if they're verbalizing, again, that's another modality of learning, having them use that language. Another manipulative you could use, I've used wine corks before, and maybe I want to do colors this time. Orange, green, orange, green. And these bulletin boards are not going to look quite the same as your commercial products, but that's okay. It's a student's work, and that's what your classroom's about anyway, is learning and showcasing what they've learned. We could do a different type of pattern. When I do this, I like to put them on some kind of lid that I can throw away afterwards so I don't have a lot of cleanup. Again, a great thing to have parents send in for you. But we could do square, square, triangle, triangle, square, square, triangle, triangle. Again, having the children take a concept that they've used and apply it. Another thing, you could use any kind of pill bottles. These are a great way to recycle things, but allowing children to see things from their environment, making connections between real objects and patterns in the world. circle. Also knowing the reasoning behind teaching patterns, because patterns are the foundation for our mathematics, for language, for music, and they help give order and have children understand the underlying principles in all that they're going to learn later on. So there you go. You go through. When I get done, I let those dry out. I staple them to the bulletin board. I am ornery enough. I tell the kids that I don't send these home. I just throw them away when they're done rather than putting their names on them, because that does get to be a chore. Again, you want this to be something that is doable. It's not so much work that you can't handle it. And there's our final product. I hope this is something you can use and that will help you enrich your classroom.